for the next part of our cook school, we have Tony all the way from the Amalfi Coast in Italy to give us a little Italian flair to our cooking this afternoon. And I'll hand it over to Tony. What are you going to cook for us this afternoon, Tony?
This afternoon I'm going to do Italian style quiche, and that's what we'll start with for now. Basically I'm going to show you quite easy how you can do a quiche without pre-baking the pastry. Okay, so first of all, I've cheated and got an ordinary paste mix and made it into a round ball. If you can imagine, I'm actually rolling this out into a circle, and then those of us that have Saladmaster, what we do, we use the lid off the 11-inch skillet to cut the circle. We then fold it into 4 and place in, open it out, and it comes out so that it is just below the ceiling line. Okay, this is one Tony prepared earlier, but I will say I didn't bring it from Italy. Okay, so this is just to make it nice and quick. There's no oil in there. There is sufficient fat in the pastry to make it release. Okay.
And can I ask you, in relation to making the pastry, Tony,
yeah.
Because it's something that I'm not used to using, would you recommend making the pastry on the day you're cooking the dish, or can you make it the day before?
I would make it on the day that I'm doing the dish, and ideally I would freeze or put in the fridge for half an hour to cool it down to make it firmer.
And again, all of these ingredients will now be available on saladmaster.co.uk. Okay, Tony.
Okay, so the next stage we're going to do is to make the quiche. So I'm using free range eggs. Again, the choice is up to you, but just in case you missed it.
Yeah, I was going to go, you look like a pro here. This is one hand cracking an egg. Hello.
This is what you get when you do lots and lots of them.
You love cooking?
Yes.
How have you found Saladmaster, I was going to say, because that's...
it's revolutionised the cooking, simply because we don't use the grease, fats and oils and the water. It puts a whole new emphasis on cooking. When you see some of the dishes done by the big name chefs on television, and you know you can do it so much easier with Saladmaster, and the good thing is you get in the healthy goodness. That's the important thing.
Great.
Okay, so I've put some eggs in there which I'll whisk shortly. Again, the choice is up to you. I prefer, being old-fashioned, to use a little milk. The recipe is pre-done. Basically, it's half a pint of milk. I'm not sure what that is in metric. It shows how English Mr. Italian is. Then I pop some seasonings in. I've got a little garlic salt. I've got some black pepper. And I've got Mr. Tony, oregano. Again, you can use as little or as much, you know, the choice is up to you. Can I have a fork?
Fork, of course, yeah.
It's like being in the home, isn't it? Asking for forks and plates. So you just make it into a mixture. And then at this point, you can do what we say to play. And this is why I like to involve Saladmaster with children, because that way you can get the different ingredients and let them choose. If the kids, I believe, are making a dish, there's a much bigger chance of them eating
it. Yeah, I'd agree. Great idea.
And it's fun for the whole family. Okay. Now here, I've done an onion. I'm going to use the whole onion I've done half the onion on the Saladmaster machine using cone number 2. And for those of us that haven't yet got the Saladmaster, I've got an onion here, and what I've done, I've taken the outer skin off, but I've left the root on. Now the reason I've done that is so that it holds together. And basically I've done 10 cuts one way, and I've done 6 cuts another, and I'm now going to cut down. And people say, how do you manage to cut the onion without cutting your fingers? It's dead easy. That's a natural guard. The nail is a natural guard. So keep the knife up against it. It can't cut it. And just go down nice and cleanly. And there you've got the same onion cuts, look, as though you were on telly. All we do then is pop some of that into the bowl. From there, I'm going to use just a little of a tomato.
That's a bigger tomato than normal, is that a big?
This is an Italian beef tomato.
Ah, okay.
Hence the Italianness in
Gotcha.
it.
Okay.
And all I'm going to do, there's 2 ways to do it. I'm just segmenting it. Then I just slice, just as though you're doing chips. Despite what everyone says, Tony puts everything in it, because if it wasn't in there, we wouldn't be eating it in the beginning. So everything goes in.
And I know quiche is predominantly an egg-based dish, but I could put different ingredients in here as I feel. Okay.
Absolutely. Great. And the good thing about this is the fact that you can use cooked and fresh together. So you can have pre-cooked chicken, pre-cooked ham in with the fresh commodities. Or if you want vegetarian, you can just do vegetarian. If you decide you want some sort of protein but without it being meat based, then you can use tofu or whatever. It's entirely up to you.
Great.
So in here now we've got onions, we've got tomatoes, our different seasonings, and then last but not least we come to our cheese. Now the cheese I've pre-done on cone number 1 for quickness, and when you see that going, I tell you, it's second to none. So I'm just adding some cheese quite liberally, because it keeps the 360 degree all round heat. That's what lets us bake and roast on top of the stove. So you've actually probably looking at one of the smallest ovens in the world.
Very good. And
all we do is pop it on, if it's electric, 2-stroke 3, dependent on the style. You know, some of the old-fashioned solid base, you'd have it on 3, and if it's on the new style ones, because they're far more economical, 2 to 3. If it's gas, you just want the smallest heat. Cakes, pastries, biscuits always work best on the lower heat.
Excellent.
And that's it.
And how long will that take?
Approximately 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
But the next thing you'll know is when it clicks on the low and it's ready.
And then it's ready.
That's how quick and easy it is.
That's fantastic, Tony. Thank you very much.
So here we have our Saladmaster healthy quiche. Cheese and onion quiche with a slight Italian style. Bearing in mind we've not used any water, grease, fats or oils. So how do we present it? Very easy. First of all, we upturn. And then the important thing is, take a look inside, see how clean that is. This is the beauty of using Saladmaster. And now we do the easy bit. I've got a finger here of tomato, because it's tomato based. All I did was get a quarter of tomato, just straight slices down, make it look like your hand. And then a few little props that I brought from home earlier. I can't say I grew these earlier. Just to finish it off. And there's our Italian style quiche. Okay, so I'm just going to portion our quiche, and as you can see, it's cutting very, very easily. Now we'll just pop out our little sections. And there we have the perfect Italian quiche.